Hello everybody, I am Proud Geek 08 and welcome to a little review. This review is of The Social Network. This movie I have watched many a time. I watched it when it first came out, I believe in 2011. The reason I wanted to review it was because I wanted to review a film, and I thought, what's the most recent film I've watched? Last night, which was Wednesday night, was The Brits, so I didn't watch anything last night. But the night before, I watched The Social Network with my dad, because my dad has never seen it and wanted to see it. So we watched it. Now, this film stars Jesse Eisenberg, the new Lex Luthor, which is brilliant, as you can probably tell. If you want to read the plot, you probably know the plot, but if you want to read that, I don't know if it's focusing or not, the glare is ridiculous. There you go. Okay, so you could read that. Basically, The Social Network, if you don't know, follows the story of Mark Zuckerberg and how he comes to creating the well-known social networking site Facebook. I'm personally on Facebook, and I know a lot of you are on Facebook. So, this is a movie which makes you hate being a part of Facebook, because by the end of the movie, you will hate Mark Zuckerberg. The movie basically switches between... It's basically Mark Zuckerberg in a courtroom, and as we all know, he's getting sued by two people. He's getting sued by his best friend, Eduardo Saverin, I think his name was, and then there's the Winklevoss brothers that he's getting sued by, and basically it's just him getting a flashback to what actually happened and how he led to this point. And it's a really interesting movie. I think the casting for it was perfect. I think Jesse Eisenberg, he was amazing in this movie. The reason that I say he was amazing was because the role was made for him. By that I mean he's older. He's in his sort of 20s, so he's got the sort of acting he's got the experience of acting, and he's been there he's been through the stage when he was Mark Zuckerberg's age. However, so he knows what the whole process was like. However, he's got that sort of young, mischievous thing about him. And that's the thing that I think they're trying to do with him being Lex Luthor. I think they're trying to catch on to the sort of Mark Zuckerberg sort of thing that he played in The Social Network, where he is hated, and you'll hate him, and he's really good at making you hate him. But yeah, this movie, I think the casting, I think, was perfect, to be honest. It was really good. However, I think some of the scenes could have been because some of them I felt were in there for no apparent reason, really, just to add a bit of just to make it a bit more exciting. I mean, the film is, I don't know if you can see that, it's a 12. Okay, they could have made this a PG. I'm glad they didn't, because the language they use in it would have been used in, But I feel like they're sort of verging on putting it up to a 15. They want to make it a 15, but they know that they're losing a lot of their sort of demographic, because they know that a lot of people who are on Facebook are between the ages of 12 and 15. Even though the age is 14, but people lie about their age, because that's what people do. But yeah, because there's some scenes in the first scene when Mark's just he's typing on his computer, blogging, setting up the website, and then where they compare two girls. I feel like there was no real need for them to keep jumping to and from the Phoenix Club, where there were just people taking their clothes off. I mean, I like that as much as the next guy, don't get me wrong. I feel like that could have been sort of touched up. In this film, you will find yourself sort of under your breath. You'll be like, "Oh God, what an asshole!" You'll really be, because at some point, like a lot of the time, it's for Mark. When Mark does something, you'll go, "Oh God, I hate him." When I forgot his name now. His name was Sean, I think, the guy you found in Napster. Everything he does, you go, "Oh God, I hate you." But then sometimes some of the other characters, you start to hate as well. You start to hate everyone in this film, and you really, the one person that's like the one person you feel sorry for and you pity in this film is Eduardo Saverin, because he's done nothing wrong. Everybody else, you sort of feel, what is the point? Like Mark, you hate him for doing what he did to Edward. You hate the guy from Napster because he's just, oh, you hate him. You hate the Winklevoss brothers because they really, yes, okay, they sort of stole their idea, but it's sort of a bit petty. Eduardo, he's the guy you feel sorry for because he sunk all his money into the company. And then to find out that his 30% had been diluted to, I think it was 0.03% or something, which would still be worth quite a bit in Facebook's shares. However, you know, you got to feel for the guy. Also, Eduardo's girlfriend, who I don't actually know the actress's name. I do remember her being in a lot of Disney shows. That was she played London in the Sweet Life of Zack and Cody and On Deck. She also played. She was in a couple of movies, and I can't remember. There was one movie where she was a, which I need to track that movie down. It was where she was a Chinese sort of. She was like she was the chosen one or something, and she had to fight this person who was going to come down. And if she didn't like defeat him, something happened. And and then there was that guy who was who came to, Wendy something, I think. And then there was that guy who had to come to train her, and then for the big fight. Anyway, so but I hated her in this movie, not because of her acting. I just hated her character, because that's what they wanted you to do. When this is a bit of a spoiler, but when she was psychotic when she came to that guy's house when he just arrived back from New York. When she came back to Edward's house, and he said, "Oh, I bought you this scarf," and then she set the scarf on fire. That was so. It was one of those moments where you're sitting there, you're watching, and the directing was just ace on this, and the film work and cinematography, because you were sitting there and you were watching Eduardo having a phone call with Mark. But then in the background, just blurred out, but you could see what she was doing. She lit a match and lit the scarf, and you could see what she was doing. And you knew that Eduardo didn't know what she was doing at that, like, for those 2 seconds. And you just hated her. And I think that was done brilliantly. This film really plays on your emotions. It's a brilliant film. I've been going on for way too long. This is an ace film. Definitely watch it. Definitely worth a pop. Did I just say worth a pop? I think I just did. It's definitely worth a go, so definitely give it a go. Yeah, that is The Social Network. You can get it for pretty cheap now, starring Mark Zuckerberg. I actually meant Jesse Eisenberg. I'm Proud Geek Kuwait, and I will see you on my next video. See you next time. Bye.